In the early 2000s, anime movies found its way overseas and had surprising success. This was due to Studio Ghibli, who were behind films like Spirited Away and Howl's Moving Castle. After Studio Ghibli's emerge in the 2000s, there were very few anime movies that had success in Western culture that weren't already associated with series like Pokemon. That is, until 2016, when not only did one amazing anime movie have overseas success, but two in particular. And these two set the groundwork for anime movies to come. Those movies were Your Name and A Silent Voice. I am Tiago from Attack on Tiago, and for today's video, I'll be comparing Your Name and A Silent Voice, and at the end, saying which one I prefer. Before getting into it, I must say that there may be a few spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled, please watch both movies and come back. You won't regret it. These two anime movies not only are amazing, but they both have different takes on the romance genre. They also happen to be my two favorite anime movies currently. So without further ado, let's begin. Your Name, the highest grossing anime film since Spirited Away dominated overseas. The story follows Mitsuha, a high school girl currently living in the countryside that yearns to live in Tokyo, and Taki, a high school boy who juggles his part-time job and hopes for a future in architecture. Suddenly, one day they each awaken but in each other's bodies. This happens about 2 to 3 times a week, and in their quest to figure out this strange phenomenon, they also begin to learn more of the other individual. Let's start with what is, in my opinion, the highlight of Your Name, the visuals and the soundtrack. The animation of the characters are great, but the settings and various uses of color to show the supernatural side were really breathtaking. And no other anime movie I've seen has a more suited soundtrack than this one. Each track flows perfectly with the scenes and enhances the situations that are occurring. The two main characters are great as well, and very relatable, and the chemistry between the two are very good. Unfortunately, we don't see too much development or backstory from the two characters, and the supporting cast isn't anything special. They serve their purpose for the story accordingly. Speaking of that, the story is a breath of fresh air. While we have seen the body swap used before in movies and TV shows, Your Name adds great originality and twists to it. Many things happen that I wasn't expecting with this kind of story, which were amazing, and it really makes it overall very enjoyable and heartfelt. That said, the story has, I would say, 3 parts to the grand narrative, and for me, the best parts are the first and third part of the story. In the middle, I think it drags just a little bit, but not enough to criticize. Your Name is a very feel-good anime, with many moments that just put a smile on your face every time you see it. It is also quite enjoyable and rewatchable. I have no problem being able to rewatch Your Name whenever and just enjoy it. A Silent Voice, the most acclaimed film in anime by the acclaimed animation studio Kyoto Animations. The story follows Shoya. As a youth, he was quite wild and kind of a class clown. Then came the new transfer student, Shoko, who happened to be deaf. Shoya and other students turned much of their attention into bullying Shoko, so much so that she transfers to a new school. With Shoya solely to blame, he is ostracized by everyone in elementary and middle school. Now in high school, Shoya is still haunted by his past, and seeks to make amends with Shoko and redeem himself. Let's begin with talking about the animation and soundtrack like we did with Your Name. While Your Name's visuals and settings and just overall aesthetic is some of the best I have seen, I prefer the animation with the character models in A Silent Voice. And the soundtrack for A Silent Voice is nothing special, but has many emotional tracks paired with the scenes. A Silent Voice is not an easy movie to watch. It is a roller coaster of emotions. It delicately deals with many hard themes like bullying, depression, and suicide. And through that, the scenes have a hard-hitting impact when seeing it on screen. Multiple times in particular, I could feel my heart stop and tears come out, and I'm not afraid to admit it. Let's talk about the characters. The cast of characters are terrific, especially the main two. The development both go through in the story was heartfelt, and every time the two of them are on screen together, there's an array of emotions that take place. The side characters also lend to the strength of the story. My personal favorite is Shoko's younger sister, Yuzuru, who has a great character arc being the younger sister of someone who is deaf. She hides a lot of the emotions and struggles she faces growing up, but still at the same time, you see the love and compassion through her. The story is great, not as enjoyable or have unexpected twists like Your Name, but is very emotional and heartwarming. The movie, however, is quite long, and there are multiple scenes or instances that feel unnecessary to the story and can easily be taken out. I think it would not only help its pacing, but then it decreases the time a few side characters have on screen who I disliked. Like I stated earlier, being that it's not easy to watch, it doesn't have that rewatchability factor that Your Name has. But that's not a bad thing at all. Now, with all that has been said, you guys are probably wondering which do I prefer. And again, both are amazing movies that are must-watches for any anime fan, but I prefer A Silent Voice. Very few anime out there left a lasting impact on me that A Silent Voice did. It shook me to my core and made me think over many things. Your Name was a better time, but A Silent Voice made me a better individual, and that's why I prefer it. Well everyone, that's it for another video. I hope you guys enjoyed my quick takes on both films. Have you guys seen either movie, and which do you prefer? Please let me know in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot. I am Tiago from Attack on Tiago, and I hope you all have a nice day.